Hello everyone, welcome to enemymilitary.com. Today we're going to be discussing the Ho Chi Minh sandal. The Ho Chi Minh sandal was the most common footwear worn by the Viet Cong as well as the North Vietnamese Army. Some were made up north, as evidenced by photographs taken in North Vietnam during the war. Many tens of thousands of people wore the Ho Chi Minh sandal. They were also made in the south. What are they? Well, they're basically sandals made out of two items. One is a bias ply truck tire. What's bias ply? It's a truck tire that doesn't have steel embedding it into the tire itself. It has nylon cord typically. The other material that was used to make Ho Chi Minh sandals was rubber inner tubes. Long ago, before the tubeless tire was very common, truck tires had inner tubes on the inside. These materials were commonly available in Vietnam, so sandals were made from them. So let's take a look at this first pair of Ho Chi Minh sandals. When you take a look at it, you can see the inner tube is here. You'll find variations of material on the inner tube itself. Sometimes you'll see markings on the inner tube. You turn the sandal over, you can see it's fairly flat. Well, why is that? Well, because somebody wore this sandal. How can you tell? Turn it over, you're going to find that the groove of the tire itself is often cut back in with a knife. These are the factory grooves of the tire itself, here and there, but these grooves are actually done by a human being. And when you look at the inner tube that passes through the tire itself to form the strap, you'll find that there's a lot of wear around the edges here and there. This one is completely worn down, so this person seemed to be somebody who favored walking on his toes. All right. Why do we point that out? Well, we point that out because a lot of GIs would bring back Ho Chi Minh sandals that were actually made in South Vietnam for them. They were used as shower shoes. Here's the mate to that other shoe. You can again see a lot of the wear on the inner tube. So they're characterized by a more flat tire. Again, tires are rounded. We'll show you what we're talking about there in just a minute, as well as worn inner tube straps. Okay. We talked about a tire that was flat. Well, this pair of Ho Chi Minh sandals is more rounded. So are these GI shower shoes? No, they're not. These are actually pretty well worn Ho Chi Minh sandals. Again, if we look at the top or the bottom of the sandal, you can see where the inner tube strap has come through. This person was a very heavy toe walker. But again, we look at the inner tube, how it's worn here and there. Definitely a well-used pair of sandals, even though they didn't flatten out. This particular tire that was used to make this pair of sandals was completely smooth. They didn't cut designs in the bottom of the sandal as we saw in the last pair of Ho Chi Minh sandals. Here's another pair of Ho Chi Minh sandals. This one has two inner straps used for one side of the inner tube. And again, this is where the heel would be. Of course, this would go at the back of the foot and around the front of the foot and cover the front here. We turn these over, you can see the sort of the red mud clay commonly found in Vietnam. A lot of guys say from I-Corps. You can see that this pair of sandals has got a tread design cut cross-hatched through it, but you can also see the factory molding here and there of the tire. Again, well worn down straps at the bottom. This guy was a heel walker. Favored his heel. And still has the original mud from Vietnam on those. We'll look at a couple more pair. Here's a pair that was made from a tire that was really well worn down. This tire was very poppable, I would suppose, during the war. But again, if you look at the strap material, very well worn on the front as well as in the back. So you get an idea of the Ho Chi Minh sandal there. We'll look at one more just for comparison purposes. And a very flat set of sandals, well worn on all the straps. Almost all the straps are worn through on this pair of Ho Chi Minh sandals. Again, with the cross hatching done by the individual. And the last pair of sandals we're going to show aren't the typical Ho Chi Minh sandals, but they follow the same pattern. The small size. It's been cut from a tire, probably a car tire because it's much thinner, and instead of having straps that go all the way around, it has more like a shower thong kind of a look to it. But again, you can see the wear and tear here. So these are actually worn quite a bit. A pair of GI shower shoes, we've seen a lot of those made in the form of Ho Chi Minh sandals. They simply don't have any wear. We hope you enjoyed this video. That's the Ho Chi Minh sandal. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.